10 weeks ago, I suffered an injury that changed my life and stopped me in my tracks, but I've learned a lot along the way and I'm ready to share it with you. What's up, friends? My name is Richie Martinez. I'm a pro drummer based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and I've toured around the world, recorded on albums, started a band. I've done some pretty exciting things, and today I wanted to share with you 4 things that have helped me get through one of the most difficult challenges in my life. At the beginning of August, I was playing soccer, suffered an Achilles tendon rupture in my right foot, which is my dominant foot as a drummer, and 10 days later, I got surgery. A lot of things changed in my life due to this injury. Firstly, I had to cancel a tour with my band. I haven't been able to play shows or play drums with my right foot. I've been essentially immobile up until the past 2 weeks, and the challenges mentally and physically have been, in some instances, overwhelming. Something as simple as walking has been such a challenge, and I was in crutches, I was in a boot, and I'm still in a brace. Through this challenge, I've spent a lot of time thinking about where I want to be, what I want to do, and what I can't do realistically, and what steps I can take to help myself progress one day at a time. And hopefully the things that I share with you will give you some perspective and help guide you forward so you can crush the day and keep improving. First things first, patience. You need to be patient with yourself and then with others. Patience is invaluable. And for me in my healing process, I have to take it one step at a time. I can't rush it, and neither can you. And if you're not patient with yourself, you're gonna grow frustrated and you're gonna get really bitter really quickly. Okay, how can we become more patient? That's definitely easier said than done. Well, something that I've been doing whenever I feel myself getting frustrated and impatient with myself, I like to stop, detach myself from whatever the catalyst is, whether it's a task or not. Breathe, walk outside if I need to, get some vitamin D, and then reflect. Hey, what about this task? What about this situation was driving me up the wall? A lot of it has been practice related. I've had to develop my left foot because I can't really use my right foot, and my left foot sucks. So this process is taking way longer than I want. It's definitely frustrated me. And what I've done is I've slowed down my practice after stepping away. I've played less notes. I've tried to simplify the task in a way that helps it become more bite-sized, more digestible, and easier to do. Honestly, whenever we're doing a task specifically that becomes too difficult to us, that's really where the frustration comes from. And if you're not careful, if you're impatient with yourself, you'll be impatient with others. So stop, step away, take a second to breathe, go outside if you need to, and whenever you revisit the task, do it more slowly, piece by piece, bit by bit. Second thing, grace. Show yourself some grace. Obviously, extend grace to others, but show yourself some grace. Do not be self-deprecating. Don't tear yourself down. Yes, there are things that you have to do to improve, and you know that these tasks have to be completed, but show yourself some grace. Do not be your own worst enemy. And I know that sounds frou-frou, but in reality, if you show yourself a little bit of grace, then your patience will also grow. These things walk hand in hand. And whenever you show yourself grace and then you practice extending that grace into others, it's going to snowball in a beautiful way. Your patience will grow, your grace will grow, and your frustrations will shrink. Grace is awesome, and a lot of us could use more of it, and we could show more of it. So what are some things that you can do to practice your grace? Something that I've done is spend time thinking about the things that you've accomplished, the things that you have that you didn't have a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 months ago. Things that you can do now that you couldn't do not too long ago. It's very easy for us to get caught up in what we're bad at and where we need to improve. And it's a lot more difficult for us to just acknowledge the fact that, hey, 1 year ago, I didn't have this ride cymbal, and now I have it in my collection, and it's super fun. The smallest things can absolutely help your gratitude. Reflecting on where you've improved, reflecting on things that you've gained, your grace grows, and then you show that gratitude, that courtesy, not only to yourself, but to others. Being gracious and being patient are beautiful things. And if you have these two in your back pocket, there's no challenge in your life that you won't be able to overcome. And I sincerely believe that. Third thing, and this one's super important. If you have suffered an injury or there's any other adversity in your life, you need to focus. Without focus, you're going to be lost and it's going to get overwhelming and you're going to be sad and all these other things that come with being overwhelmed. We get distracted a lot with social media and our phones, and you pick whatever the distraction is. During this time of recovery, I've had to focus not only on my PT and simple tiny movements that can help my ankle develop, but I've also had to focus on other things in my life. My family, I've had to focus on being more intentional with them. I've had to focus on developing weaknesses in my drumming, specifically since I'm a drummer, that could make me better by the end of this recovery period. I've had to focus on so many things, but focus starts with removing distractions. Something that's super simple that you guys could do: get off of social media, even for an hour, 2 hours. Social media really does distract, and I've learned that the more distracted I am, the more impossible it becomes to create a plan, to focus on the things that I need to improve in, and then to actually put those things into action. Something that's super helpful is making lists. If you sit down and write out the things that you want to improve in, things that you're not good at, the things that you are good at, it's going to force you to focus and to think. Essentially, focus is simply thinking, being pensive. And how many hours throughout your day are you really being pensive? Make small goals. Drink an extra glass of water. That could be a goal that you write out. Do 5 push-ups. That could be another thing that you write out. Read 3 books by the end of the month. That's another thing that you can write out. I really do believe that writing, there are many things that you can do, but writing helps your focus because you have to sit and think. Put your phone away, put your laptop away, put whatever distraction away, and sit down with yourself and your thoughts, now that you've become more patient and more gracious, and think, focus, write things out. And this is super helpful because it helps us create a plan, a path forward, and that leads to the last thing that I've really learned over these last 2 months. Number 4, discipline. How's your discipline? Mine kind of sucks. I lack discipline in a lot of things in life. Even though I feel like I'm relatively disciplined with certain things, there are other things that really need help. Discipline is a skill set that can be improved. It can be practiced, and it is extremely crucial for development. You could probably understand how being a more disciplined person is practically impossible if you're not patient, and if you're not gracious, and if you're not focused. There's a reason why these 4 things in particular have been so crucial in my development and in my growth over the past 10 weeks. With discipline, you can achieve so much, and I'm not talking about climbing Mount Everest, even though you absolutely can do that with discipline and you cannot do it without it. But I'm talking about little things like the 5 push-ups that I mentioned, or drinking a glass of water. Look, if you lack discipline, something that has helped me for practice is take one tiny little step that you otherwise wouldn't have done throughout the day and do it. I really do mean drink that extra glass of water, do the 5 push-ups, spend 5 minutes writing out ideas, because what this is going to do is it's going to help you practice your discipline. You're forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do in the moment. As a matter of fact, whenever you have that thought of, I don't want to do this, get up and do it. Discipline always moves to action, and whenever you have action, you have a path forward. I've spent so many hours practicing my left side, for example, and helping my non-dominant leg get to the place where, by the end of this injury, I'll be very happy with it. As challenging as the past 2 months have been for me, I've learned a lot about myself, I've learned a lot about where I can improve, and I've learned that I can share this information with other people. Yeah, maybe I'm not drumming right now and putting out some crazy videos, but I am still growing as a person, I am still growing as a professional, and I have so much information that I can offer, and hopefully it helps you. Be gracious, be patient, be focused, be disciplined, and then your perspective is going to be through the roof. You're going to have more happiness, you're going to be more joyous, and also you're just going to crush your tasks even better. Look, I have a long way to go in my recovery, and I know that the Achilles rupture is a serious injury that can take up to a year to be back to normal, but I'm taking all the steps that I need to move forward, pun intended, so that I can be a better version of myself and I can heal as quickly as possible. I really hope that these ideas resonate with you and help you, and that you take them and do something with them. For every single one of us, patience, grace, focus, discipline are going to be different and they're going to show themselves differently in our lives. So it really does require you figuring them out for yourself, practicing them, and then putting them into action. I'm excited for you. You're absolutely going to crush it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one. Peace.